Good evening, Facebook. How's it going? Happy Sunday. Hope everyone had a really awesome day. The weather was gorgeous outside. I know I sure enjoyed it. You can probably see I got a little sun. I got to go out to the golf course and get some golfing in, socially distancing, of course. And yes, I do sports. My name is Alex Price. I'm the artistic director of the 574 Theater Company here in Mishawaka, South Bend, Indiana. We're so glad you're tuning in to join us as we welcome our 7th guest on our episode of House Party. Braden Allison will be joining us here momentarily, and we're so excited to have him on this evening. Again, I hope you all are out there staying safe and staying healthy with your loved ones at home. We're going to get through this. Each day that we get through is just another day closer to getting back to a new normal. And I'm really looking forward to that, to when we can all get back together again safely and in a healthy manner and celebrate again, just life and theater, right? L'chaim, as they say in Fiddler on the Roof. So I have a couple of announcements so I can stop rambling on about random things. We have more episodes of House Party coming up, and we're super excited for those. We have fundraised over $500 for our artists this summer, which is really awesome. Everybody's been so kind and supportive of what we've been doing. If you wish to donate tonight to help our artists this summer for 574 Theater, you can do a couple things. One, you can hit the Donate Now button that's on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, you can hit that Donate Now button and donate. Two, you can go to our website, 574theater.com/support, which is at the bottom of the screen here. There it is. Or a new way that you can do this, if you have Venmo, you can Venmo us at Theater574. Venmo has a weird thing. You can't put a number first. So we couldn't be 574 Theater. We have to be Theater574. So those are going to be at the bottom of the screen here. Everything is backwards. So when you go left, it's just weird. So anyway, we really appreciate it if you are willing to donate. I know things are tight out there, but we'd appreciate it. So our next episodes of House Party, we're really excited. A couple things that we have coming up. One, if you got to see our live radio play of It's a Wonderful Life last Christmas, we're going to be getting the cast back together and be doing a live reading of that on House Party, which is really exciting. Yes, I know it's April and about to be May, but we all could use a little Christmas. And we all can use a little It's a Wonderful Life. It's such an uplifting story that I think is just perfect right now to kind of feel good. Another thing that's going to be happening is we're going to be having a reunion party for our cast of the 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, which was our inaugural show for 574 Theater back in 2018. Excited to bring the cast back and chat with them and talk about that process. Another thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be having some friends from South Bend Civic Theater, and instead of raising funds for our artist at 574 that night, we're going to be raising funds for the South Bend Civic. We are so glad to have that partnership with South Bend Civic and the wonderful people over there. They're going to be having a team on the show. We're going to be chatting about South Bend Civic, and we're very excited. Also going to be doing an acting company reunion from our actors from last year that were on all of our shows in the season. We're going to be bringing them back. Another thing that we're doing, we got so many things. Plays at Home is starting May 8th. And if you haven't seen what Plays at Home is, it's a virtual new play festival. So local playwrights have been submitting their work and local actors are volunteering their time to read it. And we're going to be doing live readings of new plays on 574's Facebook. Right here, we'll be using the same live stream. It's going to be really awesome, really excited for it to showcase new work from our community. So that's everything we got coming up over the next few weeks. Very excited. I turned 25 in about a week and a half, and I'm only freaking out a little bit, so we're not going to talk about it. I was just telling Braden pre-show I'm about ready to shave my head because I got a ton of gray hair, and I'm only 25, so I'm really sad about it. That's my pity party. Enough about me. Our guest this evening is just the genuinely nicest person I've ever met in my life. And he's also one of the most talented people I've met in my life. And I've had the joy of working with him on 2 shows, and hopefully we'll get to work on shows more in the future with him. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so honored to welcome to House Party this evening, Braden Allison.
Hey!
Hi, Braden.
How you doing?
I am living the dream. How are you?
Yep. Ditto that. Yep.
I feel that. On like a spiritual and emotional level, I feel that. That's about all we can do. Look you're getting applause already. We haven't even started. I'm loving it, man. We got a lot of people watching. I think right now is the most people we've had watching one of our shows. Look at you, Mr. Popular.
Wow.
Nope.
It's probably family. Love them.
Hey, that's fine. So Braden, where
Yeah.
are you quarantined at right now?
I'm quarantined in my house, currently in my bedroom. Um, yeah, yeah, on the south side of South Bend, right where it starts looking like the boonies, little patches of cornfields. It's nice. It's nice.
Man, you are so popular. Look at this.
Whoa!
Everybody's
Hey,
here. Everybody's here
hey
to talk
guys.
to Braden. I love this. Well, Braden, tell me about it. You know, as artists, we've all been affected by
Mhm.
COVID-19. We've all had changes in our life that we did not see coming. So, what were some things that changed abruptly for you from COVID-19?
Yeah. So first there was our high school musical. We were doing Little Shop of Horrors, which was such a fun show. We got to do our opening night, and then the rest of the weekend was canceled.
Man,
But I got to play Seymour alongside my brother Blake, who was Audrey too, and we got that one performance. It was really fun. It
I
was
thought you were going to say he was Audrey, and I
yeah.
was, what? Where was I? Why didn't I get to see this?
Oh man,
That's
yeah,
incredible.
yeah. It was fun, and then other projects here and there that were going to happen got canceled. But it's okay. I mean, we move on, right?
Yeah, well, and I think as terrible as it is that the rest of your run got canceled, at least you got one public performance.
Definitely, definitely. I'm very thankful for that. It was really cool to take it in, and I remember thinking as we were going in, because we were kind of reassured that everything was going to be okay for the rest of the weekend, but I wasn't going to hold my breath. I was like, got to go into this like it's our last performance, and that kind of I think is going to be my mindset for most performances now,
Yeah,
just because it felt like a really confident run of the show
right.
when I had that
Yeah.
mindset.
Well, and I think, you know, we'll talk about this later too, I'm sure, but this has really made everyone count their blessings
Mhm.
of what we actually get to do every day as theater artists. And even like in the brunt of a rehearsal process, I can't wait to be like in
Right.
the basement at the church in downtown Mishawaka, like sweating profusely and like rehearsing shows in like the middle of the summer. Like, I can't
Right.
wait for that feeling again.
Right.
And I
Right.
never thought I'd say that.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've been golfing, which I normally don't get to do because I'm always so busy.
Mhm.
You know, the start of our rehearsal process for Annie has been delayed. We were supposed to start last week, so that's
Yeah.
been really weird. Okay, Braden. Well, give us a brief. You're blowing up your fans are blowing up the comments here, and
Who's
I'm
that?
loving that.
Jenny, what's
I can
up?
see everybody.
Daniela.
You have so many fans.
Oh,
I've never seen so many fans before for somebody. This is incredible. I'm loving it.
yes, it was. Yes,
I'm
it was.
distracted because they keep popping up and I have ADD, so I'm like trying to focus on what you're saying.
Right.
All right, so give us like a brief description about you. Tell us who you are if people don't know you out there, even though it seems like everybody does.
I like long walks on the beach. I,
That's what I was gonna say as a joke.
um, I grew up in this house with the most wonderful, supportive family, and then we're already kind of a musical family. I mean, um, yes. Thank you, Dad. They're all watching right over there, in the other room. But they love music. They weren't. I mean, my mom did shows when she was younger, and I grew up just loving music. But I tried like a bunch of sports when I was like almost every sport when I was little, and I wasn't good at it. So eventually, just by process of elimination, I found myself in theater, and specifically musical theater really spoke to me. And as I grew more passionate about it, it just became really prevalent in my life, and I kept seeking it out. And I started doing shows at the South Bend Civic Theater. A bunch of local theaters kept popping up, and I just had to get involved with every production I could. So like that's how I found you guys. Is I was like, man, uh, there's another theater company here. So yeah, it was really cool.
And you really
And
do just
that,
about
that
every
pretty much
show.
sums.
You do every show you possibly can, like in a time frame. It's kind of wild.
I do. I I've come up with this motto that I'm like, whenever I go into an audition, it's at this point, it's be better than your conflicts, because I walk in already from another show like, all right, let's hope I can convince him to let me join this one now.
Somebody who's been on the casting side of one of Braden's auditions, that's what it has. That's what he's like. Yep, he's better than the conflict. Oh man, somebody doesn't have picture or sound. That's weird. Hold on, 1 second. We're back.
Whoa!
That helps to kind of reset it. Connection's being a little weird tonight. You have so many comments blowing in. Okay, so without further ado, let's get singing. Let's that. So what are you going to sing first for us?
I'm going to sing Muddy Water from Big River. I had the awesome opportunity. This was probably like my first big role that I was really proud of. Freshman year, I got to play Huck Finn in Big River. Big River is a musical version of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and this was one of the songs, and I really love it. Nice.
Okay, well, first, before you start, I want to thank Jason Allison, who just donated to our artist for 574 Theaters. Thank you so much. Again, was Braden singing? If you like what you hear, if he's more talented than his conflicts, and if you feel so led, please consider donating to the 574 Theater artist for this summer. Okay, Braden, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Take it away, friend.
Awesome. Look out for me, oh muddy water. Your mysteries are deep and wide, and I got a need for going someplace, and I got a need to climb upon your back and ride. Well, I'm down to the pain and sorrow of no tomorrow's coming in, but I put my pole in the river bottom, and I gotta find someplace to hide myself again. Look out for me, oh muddy water. Your mysteries are deep and wide, and I got a need for going someplace, and I got a need to climb up on your back and ride. Blake Allison, everybody. Well, I've been down to the pain and sorrow of no tomorrow's coming in, but I put my pole to the river bottom, and I've gotta hide someplace and find myself again. So look out for me, oh muddy water. Your mysteries are deep and wide, and I got a need for going someplace, and I got a need to climb upon your back and ride. Look out for me, oh muddy water. Oh muddy water. Your mysteries are deep and wide, and I got a need for going someplace, and I got a need to climb upon your back and
Yay! You guys did so good.
Wow.
Hi. Surprise.
How's it going?
It's going good. They did so good.
Welcome to Rock, one of our performers at the theater. Somebody Okay, yeah, Braden and Blake. That was wonderful.
It was.
Somebody's always way too loud. Whose is it? It might be you.
I'm blaming it.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can somebody turn it down? Just a little bit. There we go. No, that's right. All right, Braden, wonderful. Braden, are you there? Anybody?
Yeah.
We have Braden, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, I'm going to try to bring Zoe back. We'll see what happens. We're
Let's
gonna
do
try
it.
to bring Zoe back. We'll see what happens. It's definitely Zoe.
It's me.
No.
Zoe. All right. Well, Zoe.
It is me.
So we're gonna put that for right now. Bye, Zoe.
Yes. Break legs. You did so good.
I was gonna keep her on for a little bit, but then technical issues. Sorry, Zoe. Anyways.
Thank you for dropping by.
I heard your fan club from the other room.
Yeah. My my family. Cousin Ruckus. I love them to death. They're awesome.
I loved how Blake just appeared out of nowhere.
Yes, yeah. I tried sending him back to his corner, but I think he's as well.
Well, let's talk about your theater journey, Braden. Let's. When did you start doing theater? What was the first show you did?
The first show I did, I started doing shows at my church. We had little summer musical things, and they're like the tiny little Christian musicals that they send out to churches to buy and whatnot. And my mom directs them,
Nice.
and I started doing those. And then I just did them because they were like, that's where I was. So I was at church, and I was like, man, I want to do these. And my mom was there too. So naturally I'd be there. And then in elementary school, I was blessed enough, Mrs. Payton, Karen Payton, wonderful lady. She leads the drama department of our elementary school, which was Hamilton, is now Marshall Traditional School. And she did the Jungle Book, and I was all on board. I was like, yes, let's do this. And I got to Baloo the Bear.
Nice.
It was a blast. And after that, like, as I said, I played sports here and there, and I kind of continued trying to do that. Once I realized they weren't good, and I wasn't doing plays anymore because I was in middle school and there wasn't really any opportunity for me, I was like, Mom, we've got to find a place for me to do shows. So I started taking acting classes. And yeah, kind of just snowballed from there.
What are some of your favorite roles that you've had the opportunity to play?
Huck Finn was one of them. I related to it a lot. Is just, mischievous boy. I was a freshman. Leaf Coney Bear in the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, a blast. Dickon in the Secret Garden. We're gonna talk about all my 574 roles.
Yeah,
I loved those, and we'll get to that. Buddy the Elf. My God.
Wow, you just forget about me like that, man.
No, it's so weird how the show just happened last December, and it just, honestly, I'm still physically exhausted from it. I don't think I'll ever be able to do anything that demanding ever again.
For those out there who don't know, I directed Elf last Christmas at the South Bend Civic, and Braden played Buddy the Elf and was wonderful. And Zoe, who we just had on, played Jovi. We're going to try to bring her back on. We're going to see if it works. You there?
Yeah.
Hey, Braden.
Hey.
There we go.
Hey. Let's talk about Elf for a second, since I have you both here.
Yeah.
Talk about the challenges of that show. It was like incredibly physically demanding for Braden, and then Zoe got to sit backstage a bunch. So tell me about that, because that's two very different processes.
Ladies first.
Oh, so for me, yes, I did. I had the great blessing of I got to sit a lot, and I got to watch Braden dance and run around a lot. And yes, so our processes were very different. We were very much the entire show on opposite spectrums. He was happy all the time. I wasn't. Literally, he was happy all the time. Yep. And so I was the exact opposite most of the time. And yeah, it was always interesting because most of my scenes were with him. And so I really got to see his process a little bit more from the sidelines.
And Braden, how was it for you having to be so on all the time, like physically on stage, but also just like Buddy the Elf? Oh, Braden, can you hear us? Oh.
Yes.
It's like being there and just playing out whatever he thinks on the piano.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild. I remember going into it. It was a daunting task just because obviously Will Ferrell was so iconic, and we structured the same character but differences obviously because I know Will Ferrell. It was daunting. It was scary. I still don't know how I did it. And I don't think I could do it now. Like we could do it right now, and I'd be like, nope, not happening. It was so vocally different too because it's very high and very straight toned. And I'm not used to singing that style of music all the time.
Right.
Also, just like again, my knees will never be the same. Alex gave me this genius vision of like how Buddy moves. It was like
it was Christmas tree.
Yeah.
And
Chaplin.
Yeah.
Yep. Charlie Chaplin. So I was watching all these Charlie Chaplin videos and I was like, okay, but bigger, like bright like a Christmas tree. So I was moving around that stage, just holding on for dear life, hoping that whatever I was doing worked. And it was pretty much that until like the week before Tech Week, maybe Tech Week, where we just were like, no, everything has to be solidified now. But before that, it was really cool to just play around a lot. And it really did keep me in an optimistic spirit. I mean, I did so much so many public appearances. So I got used to wearing those tights in public. But yeah, it was a really joyful time until the show ended. And I sat down and I was like, never again.
It made me tired just watching you. And I was just sitting my lazy butt out in the house taking notes. So I couldn't imagine how excruciating that was. I think it's just one of those roles, that it's just like, it just keeps going.
Definitely.
And I love
that it. Because the first thing that you said to us you made it very clear to Braden and I that you're like, do not watch the movie. This is not the movie. We were not allowed to see the movie, think about it, like nothing like that. Because I mean, the truth is, Braden's not Will Ferrell and I'm Zoe Chirac, but I'm not Zoe Deschanel. So like, I know, right? So that was like, I remember you're like, don't watch the movie, and we were like, okay. Like,
my rule though, just any show I approach that has a movie that's like really popular, just don't watch it because you're gonna take things, and why do that when you can make it your own?
Right.
Like Elf, the musical is really different from the movie.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
So have you guys watched the movie since then?
No.
The Monday after, or I don't remember. Gosh, I can't remember time, especially with Elf. But we get back to school and they're like, we're going to play Elf. I'm like, December it's not, don't do this to me. Don't do this. We didn't watch the full thing, but yes, I've watched it and I was like, I forgot that was a joke. And I was like, where's this joke? Oh yeah, that was the musical. Yeah.
No, I think I watched it once around after the show was done. And I was like, where's the music? Where's the song?
Where is it?
I did not. That was just kind of like, since I was sitting on my butt for a lot of the show, and it was such a long run too, which I think it was a very long run of a show. Yeah. And so seeing it after that, I was like, I don't care if it's the musical, this isn't this. I'm like, I'm fine with so many times I've been able to sit down and watch Braden be Buddy. So.
Yeah. All right. Zoe, I'm going to take you off the screen, but stay put because I'm going to bring you back for Guess That Overture. And you're going to play against Braden and probably lose, but it'll be great.
You're going down, pink shirt boy. You're going down.
All right. We'll be back, Zoe. All right. Braden, let's talk about your time with 574.
Yes, please. It's amazing to me, and he did not pay me. I wish he paid me to say this, but he's not paying me to say this.
No.
It's amazing to me how much of an effect the company has had on me, like the 574 Theater has had on me in a year. Like it's been a year now since we started with Gentleman's Guide. By the way, one of the best ensemble tracks of a show is in Gentleman's Guide. It's so much fun. I started with that Man 3,
Woo!
and it was so much fun because there are so many different characters that we play in the ensemble. There are 3 men, 3 women. And they play so many different characters, and they come back and forth in different costume changes so quickly. It was wild, but
I'll never forget you and Cam Ponce in the singlets for the Buccaneers. That is an image that is just in my brain indefinitely. For everyone out there, they were wearing like wrestling singlets. They were like bodybuilders, and they kept their like calf high socks on when they wore them, and so. It was just the best. It was hilarious.
Oh man, yeah, it's that show. Loved it. Sorry.
No, keep going.
Yeah, that show was just awesome. It was. I like to think that everything with last season just kind of eased in very well for me. Starting out with the ensemble of that show, which was still a heavy task. Going into the woods as Jack, which dream role fulfilled. It was so awesome to play Jack. And on top of that, for those who don't know, it was a deaf theater project. We had voicing actors. I'm sorry, Mom. Into the woods.
It wasn't my idea, just to put that out there.
That show. Sorry, I'm backtracking to that show because I love the space. It was so great. Specifically, Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, as an introductory course to making choices and creativity around the board, not just in the creative team, but also with the actors. Eventually, they were like, take it back, but we had so much time to play and come up with so many fun gags. Other dream role, Elton, non-written role in Gentleman's Guide.
The pool boy, what was that? Like
so what you did, you had me coming on with a sign. So I came on with a sign, and Cam Madison looks at me and he goes, "Thank you, Elton." And I was like, where did you get the name Elton? Where did that come from?
I forgot all about that.
Oh, it was so much fun. But Into the Woods, Deaf Theater Project, the actors, the people playing Jack and Little Red and the Witch were all, they all knew ASL. Or they were deaf, hearing impaired. They would use ASL to communicate the most difficult score in the world. You talk about this all the time, how that was just the strangest choice to make a deaf theater project, but it really worked.
Yeah.
Like the whole theme of the show is that no one is alone, and we're all responsible for our own mistakes and whatnot, and bringing a community together after a big tragedy happens. And it ended up being so much more than me just being able to sing Giants in the Sky on stage. It was bonding with these people who we never thought we would ever be able to connect to before, and working with them. Jorge, my Jack, wonderful. I loved working with him. It was just so cool. It was an amazing experience. I remember Ethan talked about this too, but an image I think everybody on the stage will remember is when we finished the show and the house lights came up and everybody was doing this, which is applause in ASL, and it was amazing. Like at first it was like, why aren't people clapping? Did they not enjoy it? But they took the house lights up immediately, and we could see the audience all doing that, and the silence just filled the room.
Yeah.
It was so powerful. It was so awesome. I'm rambling about the experience kind of, but it was so powerful and fulfilling as an actor, a performer, and just a person, really.
Well, I'm glad it was fulfilling for you.
And
It killed me.
I know.
Through all of that,
I also remember you talking about, right, you had to leave during the performances. I don't blame you whatsoever.
I couldn't watch.
And then I can only imagine in that position how I'm just amazed at it, honestly. Like I wouldn't have been, I don't know who would have been able to just sit there and be like, I can watch this now, like being in your shoes. No.
I could barely go back and watch like videos of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm too nervous. Put it down. I can't do it. So then after Into the Woods, you didn't do our next two shows, but you did Godspell in the fall.
Right. And I think
played a little role.
Right. So me as a person, I loved the friends and family that I made at the 574. There was another offer that I was kind of intrigued by, and I thought it would be good to have space for a moment, just because that's the way I am. And I regretted it because I missed everybody terribly. And I came back for Godspell, which I don't know if I've ever told you this, Alex, but like me and my brother Blake, who was just singing with me, we found this score, who knows how long ago, and just fell in love with it. And I was like, you know what? I really want a theater to do this right now. They're like, why? So you can play Jesus? I was like, no, look at me right now. I couldn't play Jesus. I'll play, I don't know. I'll have a solo. I don't know what character I want to be. I just want to be a part of this show. Like that was my dream, was just to be a part of the show because I love it so much. And then I got the call about playing Jesus in the show. And I was like, this is something I didn't even think was going to happen. Like it came out of nowhere. And I, of course, no way I was going to say no to that. And I got to do it. And still, I think, I always venture to say this because, you know, your favorites in life always change. But my favorite show by far that I've been involved with, and it surpasses just playing that role. Although for me, like spiritually, I felt in a very good place. Like going into those, the shoes of Christ, like trying to walk in those shoes and see, you know, how would he act around people. And that was my favorite casts ever. I loved everyone in that cast. And part of it was like, I challenged myself. I was like, well, Christ loved everyone. So I walked into that show thinking, I want to be able to say that I love everyone in this cast when I leave. And the great thing is nothing felt forced about it because
I was gonna say, so really you just hated everyone?
No, nothing felt
everyone, so you had to. I see how it is, man.
No. Yeah, it was great because I also learned love in that sense is not always because like people can do bad things to you and you can still love them. And that was such a message that hit me at the time, like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
But I grew to love that cast so much, and I loved spending time with them all the time, and they were great to perform with. And
is that a ghost? What was that?
I thought it was my dog. But it might be Blake not being slick. I don't know. Anyway, yep, it's Blake not being slick.
Okay. I can see you, Blake. I can see your head. There you are. Hey, Blake.
Oh yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I love that cast so much, and it was the best theatrical experience I've had ever. We were in Lang Lab, for the people who don't know about that space. Very condensed, very at first kind of shady walking in. I was like, because it looks like a rundown building on the outside, but when you go in, it's very nice. What was great is that I had this moment where we were technically there was another floor above us, and one day when I was Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane praying, I looked up and I just saw a bunch of floorboards, and I was like, something clicked to me where I was like, oh my gosh, Earth is heaven is his home. The earth was it felt like I was talking to my dad through I'm in the basement and I'm talking to my dad. And I was like, that might be how Jesus felt when he was talking to God. Cause there's this wonderful place up here and you're speaking to people down here and you're looking up and you're like, can you hear me? Please hear me right now. My gosh. And some people thought that was weird, but I felt like it a lot of stuff clicked once that happened. The space was intimate. We got to interact with audience members. It was perfect mix of like experimental theater and just sticking to a traditional sense of theater. It was awesome. I could go on about that forever and it still probably wouldn't make sense. But I guess can I sum up my 574 experience real quick?
Yeah, in 2 words. No, I'm just kidding. You can use as many words as you want.
I love.
That's it.
And this is more my yes. Specifically, again, he didn't pay me to say this. Specifically with working with Alex is what I love that he always takes on a challenge with every show. Like no show is ever just, a show. I'm sure you could give the guy a show he didn't want to do and he would still do amazing things with it because he would twist it ever so slightly in a challenging way that sometimes I imagine sometimes you don't even know how you're going to get it done. But you still take it on full force and refuse to give up on that vision. And it always bears good fruit, I think. It's always rewarding and no experience is the same. And that sums up my 574 experiences. It's always no show is the exact same and you can expect a challenge that's going to leave you impacted in my case, in a good way.
Well, thanks. I'll send you a check in the mail for all of those good things you said. Truthfully, I didn't really want to work on Godspell.
Yeah.
It was the second time I directed it in about 2 years.
Right.
And that first production for me was really special. It was my senior year at Bethel, and I just felt it was too soon. And so I really had to push through that one. And it was right after my grandpa had passed. I was in a weird spot. So Godspell was one. I just didn't really want to work on, but I was glad I did. And I really, like you said, it was a great group of people. It really was.
100%.
All right. Are you ready for our first game?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to bring Zoe on. What's up, Zoe?
What's up?
All right. Everybody can hear each other. We're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess that overture. Hey-yo. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I am going to play from my computer, so hopefully you all can hear it. If you can't hear it, you just got to give me a thumbs down because if I talk, you won't be able to hear it. So I'm going to play it for a few seconds, and then you got to guess it. You just got to guess the show, whatever show it's from, okay? Make sense? Okay, here we go. Hold on. I'm in full screen. All right, here we go. First one.
That's it?
Yeah. Ready? We'll say your answers at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Music Man.
You gave a thumbs up, Zoe, and you gave me a look like, oh, I know that.
I gave you a thumbs up because I could hear it.
The music. I forgot to say, yes, Maddie Seymour got it.
Yes.
If you're out there watching and you want to play along, we'll
Yes.
give it a few seconds before we answer this time, and we'll see if anybody else out there can get it also. Okay?
Join.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Wait.
That's all you get. Braden's really thinking. Braden told
I know it.
me his brother were studying overtures. Zoe's got nothing. If you know it out there, if you hear it in the audience, go ahead and shoot a comment. This is what our show Braden, I should start having you co-host because I've said almost every episode I need a piano so I can play music like Seth Rudetsky does. I don't know how to play piano, so it'd be really bad.
I got you.
Everything would be hot cross buns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, ready? Okay, on the count of 3, we're gonna give our guess. Here we go. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Elf. The musical.
Braden says Elf. Zoe says IDK. My BFF Jill. The answer is Oklahoma.
Oh.
You probably would have heard it. This is what it sounded like right after I paused.
Oh.
See, I was going. Da, 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 da. I was like, no, never mind.
Now we know that song. Well, what was that song? Was that the one that was cut?
That was Happy All the Time.
Oh, Happy All the Time.
Yeah.
Happy All the Time and Farmer and the Cowman sound the same.
Yay.
And now we know. All right, here comes the next one. Here we go. Don't miss yet. If you're out there in the audience and you heard that, go ahead and give it your best shot.
I knew it.
More seconds. Somebody asked earlier about PayPal. It appears to be working. Try to refresh your page. And if not, you can always donate through our Facebook. I apologize that it's not working on your end. Any guesses out there? Any guesses? Going once, going twice. Oh, here we go. At the count of 3. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
All shook up.
All shook up. Karen Payton got it.
Yes.
Was that your teacher you were talking about, Braden?
Yes. She's so wonderful.
Thank you for being a wonderful teacher and teaching Braden. Nice work. All shook up. That's my favorite.
I would have been very disappointed if you and I didn't get that.
Have either of you done that show?
Braden and I did that show together for Summer Fly.
I love that show. Chad, it was one of like my dream roles, and I got to play it freshman year of college. And
that's awesome.
I love that show. I love Elvis, and it's great stuff. Anyway, all right, here we go. Next one. You ready? Zoe, if you don't get this, you're fired.
Oh. Oh.
Wait.
There was a very obvious motif there, Braden. Come on.
No. I think I know what it is, but I thought you did this one already.
What?
I thought you did this show already on one of the previous Guests That Adventures.
Did we?
Oh no. I'm about to guess.
Anybody have any guesses out there?
It's mainly Golden Ages.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't know as many Golden Ages.
I don't.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Dolly.
It is. Hello,
Nick
Dolly.
got it.
Our audience is doing rocking tonight. It is Hello, Dolly. Michelle's watching.
Yes, Michelle.
Everybody got Hello, Dolly. Look at everybody go. That one was an easy one. We have done that before.
Yeah.
I was just testing you to see if you actually watched. He told me he has been watching the episode, so I had to test him. All right, this is the last one. I don't think anybody's going to get this, but we'll see. I may be surprised. This was a really tough one specifically for Braden. I know it's a tough one. To be fair, I didn't know it existed until I tried searching something that was really hard.
Oh, then I've got to change my answer.
I mean, I knew the show existed. I just didn't know the show had an overture.
I have no clue. Like, no, I don't even know where to start with that.
Zoe, I'll give Zoe a hint. I've given you a song from this in our lessons. Anybody else in the audience happen to know? Nick Rogers maybe knows.
I think this is.
Somebody said Pinball Wizard. It did sound like that, but it's not that.
It is. No, I know the Tommy overture like the back of my.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really know the back of
I
my
love
hand.
Tommy. Somebody around here needs to do that so I can direct it. 574 doesn't for it yet.
Tommy, please, Tommy.
Love that show.
Somebody.
All right, here we go. Let me get the answer up here. Oh, I forgot to make it. Hold on. 1 second. My answer is not there for it anymore. Now I have to create an answer. I love producing.
I've got 2 in my head. I'm trying to play.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages. Zoe, what was yours?
No clue.
What was your other guess?
American Idiot.
Spider-Man.
No.
That's right. Okay. So I was thinking, that sounds a lot like you too. That explains it. That explains it.
No clue. You gave me that one song to listen to it, and that's it. That's all I get.
It's
Nope.
the Netflix show on Broadway. And not because it was so good, but literally because it killed people.
Yeah.
Zoe, we're going to say bye to you for a little bit, but hang tight. We'll bring you back for our next game.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Zoe. All right. Braden.
Yeah.
Most important question I can ever ask somebody that I know. What's your favorite musical?
Parade by Jason Robert Brown.
First person ever. I don't even think Jason Robert Brown would say that's his favorite musical.
I don't think he would either.
Tell us what Parade is, like what it's about. So everybody who's out there watching, I doubt anybody really is going to know it unless you're a big theater nerd. Tell us what Parade's about and why it's your favorite musical.
So, content warning, very dark show, but I'll get into it. It is based off of the real life trial of this man named Leo Frank in 1913, who was a Jewish man that was accused of assaulting and murdering a 13-year-old employee of his in a factory.
Real light and fluffy.
What?
Real light and fluffy.
Right. Parade. Ha ha ha. So it takes place around the Memorial Day parade at that time, and it has a lot of themes that I feel like resonate very well today. A lot about media and how the media can twist things in the minds of people and turn out things for the worse. But what I really love about the show is it's so well balanced as far as there are so many characters in the show, and yet each one is distinct and they have an arc, and you get to see everybody's point of view. Nobody is left out in that show as far as where they're at. I feel like you can't go into that show without relating to somebody, whether that be for the better or for the worse. But it's so powerful and impactful, and it does what I think theater is supposed to do, which is make people think and really start talking. Like you have your own shows and whatnot, but I don't feel like you could leave a production of Parade without talking more in depth about it. And it's such a beautiful score. I love the music in it so much.
I do have to give it that. It is a beautiful score, and it won Tony for best score.
Yeah.
Best book, I believe. We were talking about that pre-show too. And Jason Robert Brown, I love Jason Robert Brown. So
yeah,
it's not a score or a show I've really kind of listened to a lot. I've listened to it a little bit, and I've liked what I've heard. But interesting. What's your favorite?
Yeah, and I think especially with the score, I've heard a lot of people like, I can't listen to that. I can't just listen to Parade. What I like about it is I don't think you're supposed to be able to just listen to it. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like the music is just written for the show. Like the show is supposed to be ingested in one, not really a song at a time, which is what gives it power. But yeah, I'm tracking with you.
Nice. That's a good answer. That's the first time anyone's ever said Parade on one of our shows. So love it. Love the diversity. All right, so Braden's going to get ready to sing another song. First, I want to thank some people. Stacy Lindsley, who's donated, and Lori Cahill, thank you so much for donating. We're up to $70 for the evening, which is wonderful. I would love to break that $100 mark. I think that'd be awesome.
Come on, guys.
If they're thinking about donating, Braden's going to sing another song to convince you to do that. So, Braden, what is your second song going to be?
My second song is a medley of Stephen Sondheim music. Because I'm obsessed with the man's works and musicals, and most people know that, but I had a lot of free time on my hands, so I put this together.
I love it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Braden is going to do his Sondheim medley for us. Take it away, friend.
Sure.
You want to start again? We couldn't hear you.
Oh, of course.
Go ahead. Start again.
Yes. Should I turn up the keyboard or my voice?
Your voice.
Voice. Got it.
I'll stay on until I make sure I know it's working. Go ahead.
Not a day goes by, not a blessed day, but you're still somehow part of my life, and it looks like you'll stay as the days go by. I keep thinking, somebody hold me too close, somebody hurt me too deep, somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Make me alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mock me with praise. Let me be used. Vary my days. Isn't it bliss? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Something familiar, something peculiar, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. Something that's gaudy, something that's haughty, something for everyone, a comedy tonight. I feel you, Joanna. I feel you. I was half convinced I'd wake and satisfied enough to dream you. Happily I was mistaken, Joanna. Sometimes people leave you halfway through the wood. Do not let it grieve you. No one leaves for good. You are not alone. No one is alone. Someone is on your side. No one is alone. Someday, by the blue, purple, yellow, red water, by the green, purple, yellow, red grass, let us pass through our perfect park, posing on a Sunday by the cool triangular water, on the soft green elliptical grass, as we pass through arrangements of shadow towards the verticals of trees. bum 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 bum. People strolling through the fields of a small suburban park on an island in the river. On an ordinary Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Yes. The whole fan club. I love that. We have a live studio audience.
Right.
I love that. That was awesome. I think my favorite switch was from Comedy Tonight to Joanna.
Yes, there's no segue.
It reminds me of like that song when they're like, he's like singing Comedy Tonight and then like everybody else comes on stage. It's like a tragedy.
Right.
A tragedy tomorrow. Comedy tonight.
Yes.
Well, that was wonderful. And a perfect segue into our next topic to talk about your writing and those kind of things. So talk to us. What kind of stuff? I know you do some writing and arranging. Nick Rogers sang one of your songs the other day on our show. So talk to me about it. What's your process like?
Yeah, he gives me too much credit. That's just as much his song as mine. So it's because of Sondheim that I'm so infatuated with songwriting. I just started writing a bunch of stuff. My first piece that was performed was like, it was this piece for a show called Anonymous, which I directed for a student-led drama program that I started at my school. I just felt like there was a piece that needed to be there, got permission, but we added this piece that was almost a lullaby, like waving through. Anonymous is an adaptation, a modern day adaptation of the Odyssey, and it's brilliant. Touches on themes of immigration, and it's a gorgeous show.
No drinking water on my show. I'm kidding. You can drink. It's fine.
But I felt like a piece needed to be written there, and okay, so I write music here and there. I wrote another song. I got to perform on the CIBC theater stage as part of this grant we got from for Gilder Lehrman Foundation to see Hamilton. Another awesome thing. But like, long story short, I write songs here and there.
Okay, you skipped over the really cool part. You got to sing a song at Hamilton in Chicago.
Right, that was awesome.
Don't skip over that like it's nothing.
We
don't have time for modesty on this show.
This was around the time of Gentleman's Guide, actually. Yeah. We got a grant, and basically you got $10 tickets. A student could have a $10 ticket to see Hamilton. The catch is you have to do an artistic project on the founding fathers, or the founding era, rather. And I did a piece. It had to be under 2 minutes. Mine was a song. Obviously, most people were doing rap music, and I was smack dab in the middle. So when everybody was really enjoying that, I was like, "They're gonna hate my song." God. But it was
King George of that group.
Right? Yep, exactly. Oh man, so nerves were just being racked up because I wanted people to enjoy it. But I walked out on that stage, and as soon as I left the stage, I forgot that I had performed. It was like it was a haze, yeah. But wrote a piece on Patrick Henry in, get this, because Sondheimism that I catch on to, I love wacky time signatures. I did it in 3/2, so it's fun.
You're one of those guys in the future when all of your work gets published and us directors will be like, what was wrong with this man? What was going through his head when he wrote this? It's going to be you. I'm gonna call you and tell you.
That's gonna be
like, Braden, change your time signature.
But okay. Yeah, no, definitely. But I love playing with traditional music or taboos in music. I'm working on a project. Right, I've been working on a show that may or may not get produced one day. I hope it does. But my process for writing, which was your actual question the whole time. Like Nick came up to me and I told him I just like getting projects. Like it's not something you're a natural at. It's definitely skill. So you have to exercise that creativity. So he gave me a bunch of like lyrics and I was like, yeah, let's play with it. My process depends on a lot of things. I'm very passionate specifically about writing shows for the stage and for theater. But my process normally starts, I find the songs that work best for me, that I feel are most genuine and I enjoy the best, which you always look back at your own work and you're like, but are the songs that I start with a title. The title doesn't always stick, but it has to be a title that's the main idea. Doesn't always end up being a lyric, but it has to be the main idea so that I know what I'm trying to get across in the song. Like what purpose is it serving? Where is the person in this growing through the song?
No water, Braden.
And I'm sorry. And from that, and again, it all depends. Like different characters, I feel like I have to write differently for. Like sometimes I just start with the piano because like this character is so overflowing with emotion that lyrics are just going to fade away anyway. So I just start with music for those characters that I feel are either very melodramatic or very strong emotions. And then more intellectual people, I start with lyrics, actually, sometimes. It's never a consistency thing with me. Again, I've only been writing for so long, so I don't have one thing that is a constant, except for, again, wacky time signatures. I've always had this fear ever since I started even coming up with tunes in my head, that I would either be copying somebody else's music or I wouldn't be able to copyright my music and somebody would take it from me. So to do that, to negate that, I have always played with time signatures. One, because it's the mathematical part of my brain that actually works, and I find it fun. Two, it helps to me express more emotion through like messing with people's brains. Like you really have to focus now. Like, okay, this isn't. I try not writing songs that you can fall asleep to. Thus, I don't have very many pretty songs, I don't think. But exciting songs nonetheless is what I try to go for most of the time. So the only constant is I try figuring out what's going on in this person's brain and how do I express that best through music, and should I write lyrics? Should I write,
Yeah, nice. I was listening to an interview today by Billy Joel. I'm a big Billy Joel fan.
Yes.
And saying like he normally just sits down at a piano and just starts playing a bunch of random stuff. And he calls it lucky fingers. He's like, eventually a chord will sound really good with another chord. And he's like, it's pure luck and it's a gift from heaven. And I just go with it. And I'm like, well, I wish it was that easy, Billy Joel. He makes it sound so easy.
Well, I also remember, who was it? I don't remember who it was. I don't remember who wrote the music for Very Warm for May, very obscure golden age. I think it was Lauren. I don't know. Anyway, there's this song called All the Things That You Are, and it's this very jazzy, like unconventional melody, but it's gorgeous. And sometimes says that he heard the guy like just playing the melody over and over again, but he would like change one note every time until it sounded right. I was like, how can you just sit there and do that the whole time? Like I would get impatient, but it's something you have to work.
Yeah, awesome. I love getting to know people's processes, especially when it comes to writing, because simply I can't do it. So I find it really fascinating when people do. So keep writing, and I can't wait to hear more of your stuff. In the meantime, let's play some Broadway Jeopardy. Zoe,
I'm gonna do so bad.
We're welcoming back Zoe. All right. So Broadway Jeopardy, friends. So what we'll do, remember, do you know how to answer a question in Jeopardy? Can you guys hear me?
What is yes?
Yes.
Yeah, what is?
Okay, good.
Who is?
All right, so I will ask the question, and whoever raises their hand first will get to answer it. Sound
Okay.
good? Okay. Here we go. Everybody ready? This actress won her first Tony Award in 2002, singing a score penned by Janine Tesori. Braden.
Who is Sutton Foster?
Sutton Foster is correct. Thoroughly Modern Millie. Braden 1, Joey 0. They get harder, friends. Here we go. Here we go. This musical premiered on Broadway in 1959 and was the last collaboration for a famous writing duo. Zoe.
What is The Sound of Music?
What is The Sound of Music? Uh-oh. We got a close one, 1-1. Oh, man. This is good. I'm having a good time. Here we go. I wish all Jeopardy episodes were like this. Come on.
Right? Yeah.
Here we go. Next one. This 2009 Broadway musical was the winner of a Pulitzer, but not a Tony. Braden.
What is Next to Normal?
What is Next to Normal is correct. 2-1. This one is just going to be a random. You'll have to randomly, unless you are just like king or queen of Broadway trivia. I don't know if you'll know this one. Here we go. Hugh Jackman has hosted the Tony Awards this many times. Zoe.
What is 2?
Okay, no, it's not.
Dang.
It's like the most questionable question ever. What is Braden? Yeah.
What is 4?
What is 4 is correct. Did you actually know that, or was that just a guess?
I'll never tell. Yeah.
Boo!
Actually, that's the same amount of times not Hugh Jackman. Well, yes, Hugh Jackman, but Neil Patrick Harris has also.
Really?
Huh. All right, another one. We have 2 more. Yeah, 2 more. Here we go. This 1994 musical was the first musical produced by the late Hal Prince. Braden.
What is West Side Story?
That is incorrect.
Dang it.
Zoe?
I'm gonna have to pass.
So I win this one, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pajama Game.
Oh.
Okay, what's the score so far?
Braden's winning.
3-1.
I know that.
3-1.
3.
Okay, this is the last one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This book was the basis of Fiddler on the Roof. I'm learning y'all today. Let's see if anybody out in the comments section knows, because these 2 hooligans don't.
Nick, if you know this.
I read a little bit of them when I played Tevye. Very little, but they're very depressing. They are very unlike the musical. And I'll tell you more about it here in a second.
Little House on Anatevka?
Nope. Anybody out there? I don't think so. Okay.
Tevye Ingalls Wilder?
No. Tevye and His Daughters.
Oh.
The whole series of books.
I've never seen it, but I've heard.
They're incredibly depressing. Like
Imagine.
when they leave Anatevka, they go to America, and I think it's Bielka, which is like one of the young daughters who doesn't speak. She falls in love with an older man, and this older man uses her and then breaks up with her, and then she commits suicide. So that's what happens to Tevye after all the stuff that happens to him, in Fiddler on the Roof.
I wonder why they didn't make that into a Broadway.
Coming up.
Ooh, no.
Then we can start writing it. I remember when I played Tevye, the actress who played that daughter, she was like, well, I have no lines here, but stick around. And I'll give It was hilarious.
That's amazing.
All right. Zoe, we'll let you hang around for a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay. First, though, I do want to thank some people. We are up to, let's see, our total right now, and I'm super impressed. This is our all-time high for a single house party episode. We're up to $190 fundraise. I'm so excited. Thank you, Olivia, Carol, Andy, Karen.
You're all wonderful.
I think that's everybody that's new that has donated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're up to 190. Let's see if we can break 200 tonight, folks. That'd be really awesome. You'll make my heart happy. All right, Braden, tell us one of your worst and most embarrassing theater gone wrong stories.
Alex, I have so many, and even now I still don't know where to go. So I mean, they never go wrong for me because I love improv.
That doesn't mean they were right, though.
This is true. I'm gonna zoom by a few of these and then give more details on others.
Does that mean like you're gonna get on Zoom and talk about the other ones?
You got it, Alex.
Zoe's not having my humor. Anyways, keep going, Braden.
So let me think. There was one I posted about recently, Big River, again, the show. Hut gets into a dress, right? I'm going to zoom ahead.
See this video.
Hut gets in a dress for a scene, right? And then he has to get out of that dress and then go on stage, or he's still on stage, but go on for Muddy Water, which epic, like show-stopping duet in the show. What Blake and I sang earlier. Well, we had an understudy who, great guy, never did anything wrong to me, loved working with him. I told him, so this dress we have right now, we were having trouble getting it off, so we put Velcro to it. There's still a zipper, but do not zip it. Velcro it. He was like, yeah, I got it. I told him this during the rehearsal process, day of his performance. I was like, just reminding you, this, and that. Yeah, okay. We're talking as he's putting the dress on me on stage, mind you. It's a hilarious bit. I hear as I'm saying my lines, and then I hear, he zipped and Velcroed it. What? So I'm like, okay, this is a straight jacket. I'm not getting it. And then we go on for Muddy Water, and I'm like, yo, I got to get out of this dress. But I don't know what else. So I tried getting out of the dress quick. Didn't end up happening. So I put it straight down. I was like, look out for me. Oh, Muddy Water. Just immediately, it looked totally comical and cartoonish. But our stage manager was up in the booth, and she started recording it once she saw what was going wrong. And now we have that immortalized. So
that's awesome, though.
Yeah. Tiny ones here and there. In Into the Woods during our preview.
Do I know this story?
Yes, you do. You do. You gave me a note about it.
I don't like being surprised. So, okay, good. I know.
No, you won't be surprised. Jorge and I were on the opposite end of the stage, and we were chilling. We were like, man, we're good. And then he looks at the script. He says, we both look at each other. We realize at the same time, we're like, oh my gosh. we both book it. I have never seen this man run so fast. I didn't see him run. It was so funny. We were both running, and Alex gave me in the notes, he said, Braden, you got to get to that scene quicker. Everybody was just standing waiting for you, and we could hear you breathing in your mic when you were running.
His mic was on because he was supposed to be on stage. So all you hear is like, silent on stage, and everybody's like, Jack's dead. Oh no, wait, there he is.
Felt so bad. Godspell, I tripped once during a scene, but it was the scene that I was going up to the cross. So biblically, it says that Jesus stumbled, and I did more than that. So that, and I think the last one I have for now that I thought was really funny was
no drinking water, man. You're in the middle.
I'm sorry. You know, I did Aladdin when I was in 8th grade, right? South Bend Civic Theater. It's my second time doing the junior version. My gosh, it's something else. But I was playing Jafar.
You was Jafar?
What we would do is we would have, yeah, most fun in the world. I love playing villains. Fun fact, my favorite thing to do is play villains. It's just different conversation for a different time. But I would stand there and I would say, unless you all bow to me or something, and I would knock my snake stick down on this platform that I was on. And behind the curtain, there would be smoke coming out of the curtain, and there was this like giant Chinese dragon type thing that they would wind through the curtain, because you know how Jafar turns into a snake and whatnot and all that. So we didn't have me turn into the snake, but we had it there. So I just made it appear through the curtain. One night, one performance. And there was a lot of technical stuff during that show, but one performance. At last, you will all bow down to me. No, there was smoke, but I was told that there was no smoke. That's why he didn't do it. Sorry, there was no smoke that was working. And my director didn't want the snake going out there because there was no smoke, and it wouldn't look as cool because you could see the rod and everything, and it would break the illusion. So as soon as they tried putting the snake up, he yanked it back in the curtain. I love this director, by the way. He's like a mentor to me. I love him. But what? So here I am, 8th grade Braden, Aladdin Jr. I go, and this is where improv started for me, really. At last, you will all bow down to me. I said, nothing's happening. So I shake the staff and I go, Iago, did you put the batteries in this? God bless Emma Kopek, who was my Iago. She's like, I forgot. I thought they were the double A's or the. I was like, so we're just making a bit out of this, and I'm like, whatever. My cue for the song, and then we go on. That was a fun moment too. Those are my stories.
That is a good recovery, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh. Well, Braden, it's time for the big question that we ask each evening on House Party. And I think, as we're all able to stop, pause, and reflect during this time, I think it's a great time to ask each other this question. And that is, what does theater mean to you?
Yeah. To me, theater is the exact opposite of escapism. I know some people use arts to escape their troubles, and that's totally fine. But for me personally, I go to the arts to work through my problems. I love going to a show with heavy subject matter that leaves me better than I was before and really leaves me thinking, maybe questioning things I didn't even think to question before. Because, it really is it is the most collaborative art, I think, because you have so many moving parts trying to tell a singular story, and it's such a human experience. So watching it for me, or listening to it, is a way to work through my life and my problems and think, how do I become better from this? Having this knowledge now and examining these characters and what they've gone through in this music, what does it make me feel? Where do I go from now? That's the powerful, and being in shows is, again, it is the most collaborative art. I think it's so beautiful when a production gets done, because all the effort that everybody's been put in, and everybody's been chosen for a reason, right? Like anybody can write music, really. It may not be amazing to some, but that's all subjective, right? But you choose certain people to write music for you because of their voice, and their voice isn't their words. I have like a rhyming dictionary and a thesaurus over here to give me words that I might not know, but it's the ideas. And that's the same thing with a director. A director has their own voice, and that's why you choose them. Actors have their own voice and their own part that they bring into it, and that's why you choose them. And same with all your tech people and your stage managers, your set builders, your costume designers, your props masters. All of them have some voice that speaks to you, and when it all comes together to tell a singular story to change other people in an audience, it's just very powerful to me. And that's why I love it so much, and that's why I don't think I'll ever steer away from it.
That was a really light answer, Braden. I need you to dig a little deeper.
I gotcha.
I'm kidding. That was a beautiful answer. Thank you for sharing that. Dude, you're awesome. Love hearing from you and stuff. And we're ready to sing our last song. So with that, we're going to say bye to Zoe. Bye, Zoe.
Bye, Zoe. Thanks for
Bye. Break legs. Bye.
All right. So what are you going to sing for us to end the evening?
I'm going to sing Beautiful City from Godspell. And it's mainly because slight uplifting story. This should go in the kind of flops. During Godspell, right before Beautiful City was this song called We Beseech Thee, where we all go ham on stage. And I found it so much fun to like, I did a little too much, especially in flip-flops, was not a good idea. I'd be so out of breath. Then Beautiful City starts. And I felt so bad because I felt like I wasn't giving the vocal performance I normally could, but I still acted. I tried Carol chanting it. But I wanted to revisit this song, especially in this time. I think it's important for everybody to hear and give people the performance that I wanted to give them already.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I love this song. I think this is a great song to end on. And we are up to $210.
Yes, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Again, if you feel so led to donate to the 574 Theater Artists for the summer, people like Braden and Zoe and so many others, please consider donating. And we're now going to turn it over to Braden for his last song, my favorite, Beautiful City from Godspell. Braden, take it away.
Out of the ruins and rubble, out of the smoke, out of our night of struggle, can we see a ray of hope? One pale thin ray, reaching for the day we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. We may not reach the ending, but we can start slowly but truly mending, brick by brick, heart by heart. Now, maybe now, we start learning how we can build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but we can build a city of man. When your trust is all but shattered, when your faith is all but killed, you can give up bitter and battered, or you can slowly start to build a beautiful city. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can build a beautiful city, not a city of angels, but finally a city of men. A city of men.
need that in my life. I need a fan club like that. Oh my
You're the
God.
best. I'm a part of it, Alex. I'm a part of your fan club. Know that.
I appreciate it. Man, that was beautiful. And I love that song. And I love that message. And I love when you sing it. That was wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Braden, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We raised $210.
Thank you, everybody.
Incredible. Braden, we'll have to have you back on again sometime soonish.
Please do. This has seriously been a blessing. I appreciate it.
I want a brand new musical completely written for us to hear the next time you're on.
Definitely. Consider it done.
So tomorrow. Got it. Sounds good. All right. We're going to say bye to Braden, everybody. Braden, thank you so much.
Yeah. Night, everybody.
Thanks, Braden.
Thank you.
Everybody, Braden Allison, so incredible. Thank you, Braden, for your time this evening. And thank you, everybody who donated. I'm so excited. This is the most we've raised on one episode, and that is just incredible. And it's going to go to such good use this summer to our artists and everybody who works with us at 574 Theater. Everybody, I hope you have a great week. I hope you are kind to one another. I hope you are positive with the outlook on things in the next few weeks. Things are going to get better, everybody, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to get back to that beautiful city, and it's going to be a new normal, but it's going to be great, and I'm excited to be there with you all. We'll see you Tuesday night with a hilarious human, and if you need a laugh, tune in Tuesday night for Sydney Sprunger. Everybody, I am signing off for the evening. Have a great week. We'll see you Tuesday at 8 p.m.